The most frequently asked questions about DTG printers. Coming up right now. What's up, guys? Gary Edgenay, t-shirthelpdesk.com, the place where we cover all things t-shirt related. Go down and subscribe and hit that notification bell. We're here with Sergio and we're at Omniprint, as you can see. And a lot of you guys ask questions. There's a lot of stuff that I've gotten in comments and emails and all this stuff. And there's things you want to know. So, Serge, what are some of the most frequently asked questions?
The first and arguably the most frequently asked question about DTG is, why are DTG printers so expensive? And the fact of the matter is, if you want a good DTG printer, you should be expecting to spend at least $15,000. Now, you don't have to have that money on hand. There usually is financing available, but the reason they're so expensive is this isn't just any piece of equipment you're adding to your business. This is an industrial t-shirt printer that's gonna print on t-shirts that you can set your whole business plan around. And that's kind of what this is going into. On top of that, you're paying for the design, the engineering that went into this. On top of that, getting training, warranty, and more. So when it comes to what you're paying for, this is a printer that was designed in the USA, produced in the USA, and you have parts and support coming out of here as well. This isn't something that's coming from overseas, or you're not calling somewhere else overseas where they can barely understand you, that kind of thing. There's nothing wrong with that, but we want to make sure that each of our customers are taken care of. And because of that, we have everything here where we can keep a watch over everything and make sure that you're getting the value you're paying for. Another frequently asked question by customers is, don't you have to run these every day or else they'll clog? And that's kind of true and false. The thing is, there's a wide variety of DTG printers you can invest in. And some of those printers you will have to run every day. So you have to look at what your production, what your business is going to need in terms of printers. Now with this printer specifically, the FreeJet, this is one that you don't have to run every day. And we have a white ink circulation system and a preservation system for the print head that makes sure it's not going to clog, it's not going to dry for up to 30 days. So this is the kind of machine that you would invest in if you're not looking to print it every day. But other machines, if this is the kind of thing you're expecting from other machines that are expecting you to print every day, that's where you're going to have to do costly flushes. You're going to have to just deal with clogs and dries all around if you're not even running it every day. So if you're going to want a printer that you don't run every day and you don't want it to clog, make sure you invest in something that has some kind of print head preservation system, such as a wet cap or anything else. Touching on that, another frequently asked question when it comes to drying or clogging is, doesn't the print head dry easily? And within this system, it's actually a cleaner is pumped through in which it's kind of like a system in which the print head comes and sits in to make sure that it never dries out. So it's literally called a wet cap system. And you do this at the end of every day to make sure that your print head is nice and preserved until the next time you start it up. And what this means is it's a little chamber where it fills up with cleaner and your print head sits right on top of it so that it stays nice and wet, doesn't ever dry or clog. That's kind of what's preserving that. So if you're looking to get a DTG printer and make sure that your print head is not going to clog, make sure you look into something that has a wet cap of some sort. Another frequently asked question would be, aren't the inks expensive and inefficient? And when it comes down to that, it's another thing that's also true and false, and it varies from printer to printer and different brands. When it comes to this one, we're running on a different kind of system. This uses a bulk ink system. What that means is there's a set of bottles on the back of the printer that you can refill on demand and that it's pulling from that ink. Whereas instead of putting in a cartridge that can be inefficient, it can get costly, and pretty much it's just clutter. So that's, in that respect, that's where inks can get expensive, but you want to make sure you're running a system that's doing pouches, bottles, something that's not really running cartridges, because that's where it runs into territory that ink can get costly, and cartridges don't even use all the ink. So that's kind of where people get a little frustrated, where it's like, there's ink in that cartridge still, but it doesn't use it all, it starts panicking, that kind of thing. So another frequently asked question is, how is the washability of DTG prints? A lot of people have the biggest misconception that, oh, DTG prints only last one wash. It's often 5 washes. And the thing is, there are really important elements that make sure that your DTG prints are getting the washability expected, which is at least 30 to 50 washes, depending on garment. But what you want for that is a good, nice quality garment, proper pre-treatment, and proper ink curing. Each of these elements is what's going to make sure that your DTG prints are going to wash properly. Because if you have a cheap garment with the right pre-treatment and the right ink curing, the garment might not hold the graphic properly. If you have a really good garment but you don't have your pre-treatment right, it's not going to hold the print properly. So it's these three elements that are going to make sure that you are making sure that you're printing properly with DTG. Another frequently asked question and misconception about DTG is that you could only print on t-shirts. Every kind of printer has different abilities, and with that being said, you can print on shoes, you can print on hats as well, and you can even print on canvas, do art recreations. This can be done with the regular dope platen. These are done with special interchangeable platens that you can use, and also in addition to that, you can do chest prints, sleeve prints, and even smaller garments on this. Another frequently asked question by people looking into DTG is, isn't the maintenance difficult? And it varies from printer to printer. Now with this printer, the only maintenance you're going to have to do is you lubricate the carriage bar so that your print head can move back and forth properly, and you preserve the print head. And then from time to time you clean underneath the print head to make sure any gunk that builds up is taken off. That's easy maintenance. There's other printers that will require you to do full flushes, multiple head cleans, and that's where in the long run things can get costly. So when it comes to DTG, you want to make sure you're looking into what the maintenance is going to take, what the cost is roughly, and how easy it's going to be for you if you're running these on a daily basis, weekly basis, so on and so forth. Another frequently asked question about DTG is, are repairs and parts expensive? And the thing is, that may vary from manufacturer to manufacturer, but you want to make sure that there's someone who's giving you a warranty, that they have support on hand that they can help you with and repair. With OmniPrint, we give you a warranty on the printer and the print head. So that means that if you ever experience anything with your printer goes wrong, we'll be there on call to help you out on repairs, help you out with troubleshooting, and if anything happens across the board where you have to send it in, we'll be here to receive it. And when you're looking into DTG, that's something that you're going to want to look into for sure, because downtime is something that should be expected at some point with DTG. Just like anything, even with your car. If your car goes down, you need an oil change, you're going to want to go to your dealership, that kind of thing. Another frequently asked question about DTG is DTG hard to learn? And the thing with that is, just like anything else in life, there is a learning curve. But you want to go with a manufacturer that provides training. At OmniPrint, we provide a full 8-hour class in which you go through the maintenance, the operation, pre-treatment, and anything else you're going to need to know when it comes to using your DTG printer and setting you up for success. That could be done on site, it could be done online, and we could even come to you. But when it comes to DTG, training is going to be real crucial when it comes down to it.
All right, guys, so that was answers to some of the most frequently asked questions about DTG printers, okay? Serge, thank you so much.
Thank you.
And guys, if you want more information about DTG printers, there's a link right down in the description box. Make sure you click on that and check out all the great information. Until next time, we are out. Peace.
Shirt man, yeah, that's me.